Hi, welcome to the Hyperfixated Fan. I'm Rachel.
I'm Hunter.
And today we're continuing our discussion about the Scream franchise.
I just realized we didn't do the rules for 3 in our last one.
Oh, okay. Well, what are the rules?
The rules for the ending of a trilogy. The killer is superhuman. You will have to decapitate him, blow him up, or
He'll be harder to kill.
Freeze his head. He'll be impossible to kill. And this does play out because Roman was the first killer to wear a bulletproof vest.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good... Yeah, Randy's right. Randy's
always right. Anyone can die, even the main character. The past will come back to bite you. Whatever you think you know about the past, forget it.
Yeah, because we did learn new information about the past.
And then there was a fourth rule that actually got cut. The fourth rule was don't go off alone.
Which is a great rule.
It's a good rule. They did cut it, though, because immediately following this scene, Gail leaves the group to go investigate the archives and goes off alone. So they did cut that rule.
That's
but
fair.
Those are the rules for the ending of a trilogy.
Good to know.
But now, for realsies, we're talking about 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
Apologies for leaving that out of the last episode.
Yes, sorry.
We're good at this, guys.
Now we're transitioning to 4.
4.
So 4 is kind of like by itself.
Yes.
It's by itself.
It's not part of the trilogies. It's not part of the requels.
No.
It's the reboot or the remake. I don't remember which one they call it.
It's, like, off by itself.
The body count for 3 was 10.
Okay, same.
I forgot a lot of things, you guys. We were so excited about other stuff. I'm
sorry.
It's time for real, though. 4.
4.
The reboot.
So my first note for 4 is it wasn't that bad. Hunter was like, this one sucks. No one likes this one.
I said that. I just said it's whatever.
No one likes this one.
Yeah, it's definitely the least liked.
Which is fair. It is the least liked, but I did think it was horrible. It wasn't horrible.
No,
like,
it's fine.
Was suspenseful, and I was surprised by the killers. Like, again, I was trying to guess who it was, and I was wrong.
Yeah, I think the thing that, like, really gets it, and, like, it misses out on some of the, like, things we've come to expect. Like, it doesn't have... it's the only movie in the series that doesn't have the song Red Right Hand, which is just... It's in all of series them. Yeah. Feature. Like, that's what... it also... it tries to set Jill up to be the next Sydney. It's going to be the main character of this, like, reboot or remake or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But Jill is not really on camera all that much. We get her a little bit at the beginning.
Yeah, she's not.
But then, like, we tend to follow the side characters or Sydney more than we do Jill.
Yeah,
so
we do.
We can't really get attached to her.
No. And also, I would want to say, like, Emma Roberts is not... I mean, I don't know if it's just her character's annoying in this, but I don't think the acting's very good.
Yeah, I think it's more just that, like, we're not given anything.
A lot, yeah.
We're just not given anything.
Yeah.
Which is, like... Again, guys, if you don't want to be spoiled about these, you don't want to know who the... we talked about this so much in the last one, but if you don't want to know who the killers are, stop now, watch the movies.
Yeah.
But, like, it's hard to feel betrayed.
Yeah, because you never really knew her.
Because we didn't know her in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, the only, I think, solid scene we get of her, we get with 2 of them, is one when she sees her friend Olivia in the next house getting murdered.
Yeah.
That one was good. That felt, because we saw her and we saw Kirby, both of them reacting.
Yeah.
And then the one talk she has with Sid in the kitchen. And even that's, like, very brief, and it's mostly Sid talking.
Yeah, definitely.
So it just feels very difficult to get attached to her.
It does.
So I think that's really the thing that makes it difficult to enjoy in the way the other ones do.
Yeah, it does.
Because you don't get attached to the new characters, so it doesn't feel as much like a loss when they die.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby, I love Kirby.
Yeah.
We get a lot of Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby is, like, one of the ones that you're like, is she the killer? Because in all of them, it's like, whoever the killer is a horror movie fan. Yeah. Like, that's the rule, basically.
Yeah.
And so in this one, she is, like, obviously a horror movie fan that isn't, like, immediately disclosed. Like, you kind of figure that out when she's at this club meeting. Does, so it's like, oh, okay, maybe it's her because she didn't, like, say this at first.
And then there's, like, Charlie, who we know is a media buff in general. Him and Robbie.
Which one is which?
Charlie is the one with the long hair.
Okay, Robbie is
the one who, like, wore
camera.
the camera.
Okay, gotcha. I was so sad about that.
Yeah, Robbie's death was so so funny though, because he's like, wait, I'm gay. As if he expected that was gonna save him.
Poor guy. Poor guy. I was so mad about that. I was like, no, are you killing the gay?
I don't even think he was gay. Are you kidding me?
I don't know, just like the subtext, man. Like, he was so upset that Charlie was like having a thing with Kirby. Like,
I think he was proud that his bestie got the girl.
I don't know.
Because he was trying to like, he kept talking about Charlie and Kirby through like the whole movie.
Yeah. I don't know.
It could have been either way, honestly.
It seemed to me like he was really sad about it when it happened. So, and then it's like, it turns out like that, spoiler alert, like Charlie is the killer and
God, that broke my heart.
And he kills his best friend. I'm like, no!
See, I felt more betrayed that Charlie was a killer than I did that Jill was a killer.
No, me too! Because, like, he's, like, a package deal with the other guy. Yeah. Like, they're friends. Like,
just, like, and he and Kirby, like, finally got on the same page, and they were, like, being real cute, and then Kirby had that moment of, like, I can't trust you enough to let you in this room.
Yeah.
And then she's like, but I'm gonna save your life. And she does.
And
just
then
for
he
him
fucking
to kill her.
Yeah.
Ah.
It was awful. I was like, no!
How dare you?
Yeah, that was so sad to me.
It was so rude. And then, like, one thing the movie did really good was they made Trevor look so suspicious.
Yes. He is so... But he was too suspicious. I was like... They're either pulling a Billy of, like, he's too suspicious and he did it, or it's just, like, they're, like, it's a red herring, you know?
Exactly.
But it's, like, it could go either way.
It could go either way. And, like, because one of the rules for the remake, you've got, like, don't fuck with the original.
Yeah.
So it's, like, I don't know. It could just be another Billy where the suspicious one is the killer.
Yeah.
I'll just go through the rules since I have it.
Okay, we don't want to forget.
I don't want to forget again. So the rules for a remake: don't fuck with the original. Death scenes have to be way more extreme, which honestly at this point feels like a rule that's in everything after the original.
They try to
whatever.
do
that. Unexpected is the new cliche. So, for example, like virgins can now die, etc.
Yeah.
New versions are 2.0, so new tech is expected and integral.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have an elaborate opening sequence,
which was so. We will talk about that.
We'll talk about that because honestly, I do
great.
really enjoy that.
It was great.
If you want to survive a modern day horror movie, you quote pretty much have to be gay.
Yes.
Which is why Robin was like, wait, but I'm gay.
Yeah.
This is hard. The original ending is a false ending, hence the, like, it happens at a party, so now the ending is in the after party.
Yeah.
The killer is always behind you. And then the bonus was the cops talking about the rules for cops.
Mm.
A cop always dies if they're near retirement, have a newborn baby, or better looking.
Yes, that was good. Loved the cops.
God, the opening sequence, though.
The opening sequence is so good, actually.
It's extremely meta.
So the first one is, like, again, like, Drew Barrymore scene. Like, you get the call in the house and someone's, like, asking you horror movie questions.
Yep.
And the first one is the girl from Pretty Little Liars.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, and then that, like, happens and then it's like, okay, like, they're actually watching that on a screen. Like,
that gets
that's from Stab.
Freeze frame.
Yeah.
I think it says like Stab 6.
Yeah, Stab
maybe?
6, I think.
And then it pulls out to Anna Paquin and
Kristen Bell.
Yes.
Yeah.
On the
who
couch
are very
watching
recognizable. That. Like, you know who they are.
They're both just sitting there, and now they're talking about that intro sequence.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know they were in this movie.
Yeah, I was like, haha, yeah. Anyway. And they're talking about it like...
Anna Paquin is, like, hating on it.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it's, like, so been done.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other.
Yeah.
We've all seen it. And it's, like, what's even the point of a slasher movie? Like, why can't we do this, that, or the other?
And then Kristen Bell just, like, stabs her in the stomach.
Stabs her in the stomach and is like, shut up
and watch the movie. I was like, oh, okay.
And that pulls out to Stab 7.
So funny.
And then we pull out to two other girls sitting on the couch and they're just like, wow, anyway.
That was so funny.
And that's like where the real movie starts.
Yes, it's so funny.
absolutely so much.
Very well done. Very well done.
It's so silly.
It's so silly. Like, it's great.
I really enjoy it.
I enjoyed it too.
Like, it's stupid and over the top, but I do love it.
Yes.
I do love it.
I love it too. And something that's fun about this movie is, like, they go back to Woodsboro, which they haven't been to since the first movie.
Yeah, we are back in Woodsboro.
So that was nice. And then I also noticed this, like, in the high school, they have, like, a statue of Henry Winkler, because he is the principal who dies in the first movie. I'm like, they made a statue of him.
He would live on in the school
That killed me. It's just like a sliver, like, of it. And I could immediately tell what it was. I was like, oh my god.
Remember, your principal loves you.
It's so funny. It was so funny, honestly.
That's honestly the funniest line of the first movie is you just hear his voice over the loudspeaker and he goes, remember, your principal loves you.
He's so weird in that. It's great. He's having
such
fun.
a weirdo.
He's having fun.
He's having a great time. Oh my god.
It's great.
So good.
Also, I'm just, like, reading my notes now. Anthony Anderson is in this movie. He's one of the cops.
Oh, yes, because he played Anthony Perkins.
Yes. Anthony Perkins
Psycho
is
Man.
literally the main character of Psycho.
Yeah.
So it's, like, very on the nose.
He's Officer Anthony Perkins.
And it's like...
Playing, yeah, names for... There's so many... I actually wrote down, I didn't want to go over it because our thing was already going so long.
Yeah.
But, like, just in the first movie, some references were like,
the Freddy Krueger one.
The opening, Casey's mom is told to go to Mackenzie's, which is where Laurie told the kids to go in Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
They reference the red food coloring and corn syrup, like in Carrie.
Yep.
Loomis is named after Michael Myers, the psychiatrist.
Yes.
Billy climbing in through the window, like Glenn does in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
Fred the janitor, who is... First
Freddy
of all,
Krueger.
that's Wes Craven.
Yes.
But he's dressed as Freddy Krueger.
It's great.
They reference Wes Carpenter movies, which is Wes Craven and
John Carpenter.
Tatum's jersey. She's wearing a cropped jersey that I think has the number 10 on it, which is the same as Glenn from...
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street's jersey.
That's awesome, actually.
Linda Blair, who was in The Exorcist, is a reporter. This is all just stuff from the first movie, and that's not even the full list I wrote.
That's awesome.
They do that sort of thing in all of the movies.
All the horror Easter eggs.
I adore it.
I caught the Anthony Perkins one.
Yeah, and I started writing them down for the first movie, and I was like, this is
too much.
This is too much. I can't do this. I'll stop at movie 1.
But that's what makes it, like, love letters.
It
to
is,
horror
yeah.
movies.
It's so good. And, like, when in 4, you get the trivia game between the killers, like, quizzing
Yes.
Kirby.
And Kirby knows all of it.
Yeah, she knows, I think, all but, I think she gets maybe one wrong, and then the last one, they start asking the question, and she just shoots off names of horror movies, and there are some I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that one is.
Yeah.
It's great. You can tell that, like, I mean, obviously Wes Craven loves horror, but like, the writers and everyone involved in this clearly are also lovers of horror.
It's very fun. It's very fun.
I do think it's funny. Neve Campbell does not like horror.
That is funny.
I think she's said that she, like, does not watch these movies probably beyond the premiere. And
That's
I know, oh God, who plays Jill?
I don't know.
The girl who plays Jill.
Emma Roberts?
Thank you. I was really blanking out her name. She also does not like horror, despite the fact she's been in so much horror
stuff.
She's
been in American Horror Story.
American Horror Story, Scream Queens.
Yeah.
She also does not like watching horror.
That's funny.
It freaks her out. So, but like, they all can still appreciate and take part in all of this.
Yeah, definitely.
And be lovers of the art, which I think is so cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
We did rules for this. Yes.
One of my notes is poor Robbie for real.
Robbie for real.
I've already talked about that, but
it deserves repeating.
Yeah.
He just wanted to make a vlog. Yeah.
My next note after that is I like Charlie! ! And then I added in until he killed Robbie. Sad face. Sad face. Like, I was wrong about that. Like.
Yeah. Charlie, I was rooting for Charlie.
I was rooting for him too.
So
like, come on, man.
I was like, just kidding. I'm a murderer, and I'm I'm totally in love with Jill,
Like,
actually.
okay.
And we're gonna be the survivors together. I was like,
Kirby's definitely better than Jill.
like, first of all, no, I thought you were into Kirby. Second of all, Jill has no interest in you.
Yeah, Jill is.
I don't know. She's not looking in your
crazy
direction once during this whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, not even to, like, sync up.
Yeah.
Like, not once.
Jill is, like, as a killer, she is very irrational and emotional and not, like, smart.
Yeah, she ends up in the hospital and is like,
I'm just gonna kill you.
Tell you some information I shouldn't know right off the bat. Let me tell the sheriff that. Yeah. And then, as soon as I realize that my cousin's alive, I'm gonna go kill her in the hospital.
And, like, you don't have any cover for that. Like, you're immediately found out when you do that. Like, it's ridiculous.
She's so dumb.
Yeah, she's so dumb.
They apparently, when they intended this to start off a new trilogy, the plan for the sequel was that Sid would live, but she would have amnesia, so she and Jill would leave Woodsboro, go to, like, Jill's college. Sid would be teaching. Jill would be a student. And then someone would be the new Ghostface targeting Jill and, like, implying that they knew her secret. And I think Sid would start developing her memories back again.
And
it feels like kind of a lot.
I don't really like amnesia trope.
Yeah, it's not overly my fave. I think if it was handled well,
maybe.
Which they've shown they can handle a lot of stuff well.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of really glad with where we went next.
For sure. Yeah, and this movie gives us Judy as well.
It does give us Judy. Judy was also set up to be real creepy.
Yeah, she's suspicious at first, but you like her.
Her little, like, fight with Gale is
great.
So funny.
It's great.
But, like, the when she's, like, standing guard in Sid and Jill's, like, house, or I guess it's, like, Jill's house that Sid is staying in, and she's just, like, in the shadow at the top of the stairs with her, like,
that's so good.
Eyes, and she's like, we were in the high school play together.
Yeah.
You were Tiger Lily. Do you remember that?
It's so funny.
And she's like, I super don't, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to bed. Goodbye, Deputy Judy.
Yeah. And it's like the shadow follows Judy. Like, it's very obvious. Like,
it's so
it's
creepy.
not natural.
I love it.
It's great.
Judy's great.
Yeah.
She's so creepy and weird. Just a delight, honestly. Final body count for 4. If we include the stab intros, it's a total of 14. If we're not including stab, it's 11.
Okay.
I figure I should throw it in just in case if people want the full, because we do see 14 murders happen.
Yeah,
some of them are on TV.
Yeah, some of them aren't canon. You know.
Yeah, but 11 as our body count for 4.
I'm ready to move on to 5.
I'm so good for 5. Let's
okay.
go. 5 is the good shit.
5 is actually good.
So good.
So I was ranking them in my mind. I was like, Scream 1 is number 1. Scream 5 is number 2 for me.
I agree.
Number 2 for me. It's really good. I was
really good.
I remember so I watched this throughout my work day. I was watching it during my lunch break and during breaks, and then sporadically, and then I finished it when I got home. But it was so much shit was happening. I was texting Hunter throughout the day of what's happening. But it was actually so good. It's really liked it.
Good.
And I remember once I finished it, I was tearing up. I was like, this is such a honor to the first movie. It honored it so much, and I was like, this is everything I wanted.
It does such a good job of tying into the old one without trying to be the first one.
No, yeah, it's truly a sequel.
Yeah, it's
so good.
The requel, it's a requel. It's good.
It's great.
It brings in old characters while not letting them cover up the new characters. It really lets the new characters shine.
Yes, it really does.
Which I frankly adore. I love all the new characters.
Yeah, me too.
I was thinking about it, and the Core 4, which that's the name they take on.
I love the Core 4, yeah.
But the Core 4 actually really lines up with the OG core four really well. Like Sam and Sid.
Yeah.
That's a pretty straightforward comparison. They're both like tough as nails. They're both survivors. Protective of the people around them. I mean, obviously they're very much not the same person, but like they very much kind of inhabit a similar role. Mindy and Randy,
for sure,
spectacularly well. They know their horror. They're the ones who kind of explain the rules.
They predict things.
Yes. Chad is Dewey.
Yeah.
Lovable idiot, the muscle.
Yeah, for sure.
And Tara does surprisingly line up well with Gail.
Okay.
In that I think she's pushy and bitchy when she has to be.
Yeah.
And then she does end up with her Dewey.
Yeah, definitely, that's true.
It's not as strictly in lineup as the other characters, but there's still some similarities there.
Yeah, I see that.
So, all while still being very much their own independent characters.
Yes.
Which I adore.
It's great. So, more famous people in this movie. Fucking Jack Quaid is in this movie.
Richie.
I know is Huey from The Boys.
Yes.
If you've seen that.
Yes, he very much is in that.
Yeah, so I was like, what? I didn't know you were in this movie.
It's so funny because, like, the first time I watched this movie, I had not watched The Boys, so it's just like, yes, this is Richie. And then I watched The Boys recently, and then I went in and I was like, Huey, why are you in my serial killer
That's
movie?
what I'm thinking.
Get out of here.
Like, I've only seen him in The Boys, so it's very strange for me.
Yeah, it was a weird rewatch now recognizing him from like, The Boys.
Good for him though, like
Good
the range.
He did great. His as Richie as Sam's boyfriend.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I really, 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 really liked the sister relationship in this movie.
They're great.
Personally,
sisters
yeah.
Back together.
Like, personally, I have a sister, and I'm the older sister, so I'm very much, like, related to Sam. I was like, this is me. Like, I'm so protective. Like, it's just so, like, oh, this movie was made for me. Like,
I thought it was meant for me.
It was, like, oh my god, it struck me. It's just, I really like it a lot.
It's a great dynamic.
And it's like Amber tries to break them up of like, oh, you left her, blah, 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 blah. It's like, we're still sisters. Like, we're still closer than you are. Like,
fun fact, they initially had Tara and Amber as ex-girlfriends in the scripts.
Yeah.
And then kind of ended up cutting that just, I think, mostly for time.
Okay.
Just they didn't have the room to kind of expand on that relationship.
But it makes sense if you kind of, like, read between the lines and stuff.
That would be why Amber is so protective. Of Tara and, like, her relationship with Wes.
Yeah.
And then, like, also why she knows all the like juicy bits between like Sam and Tara's relationship.
Totally makes sense. And why like her inhaler's at her house. Yeah.
I think at some point that was a necklace that they had exchanged, and she wanted to go get her necklace back.
Yeah.
But then they were like, now that they're not ex-girlfriends, we're gonna make it the inhaler.
Yeah.
But
it's really good.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting.
Yes.
Nice little detail.
One thing that happens, like, semi-early in this movie that made me freak out is we get ghost/hallucination Billy. Yeah. Which I was losing my shit about.
I kind of wish I'd been there to watch this movie with you.
I was like, finally, we get Billy again.
Yes, Sam is schizophrenic and has hallucinations of her father, Billy Loomis.
If you want to label it that way, I like to think that he is literally a ghost, like, haunting her. I like that better.
I mean, she is, like, canonically schizophrenic. We know
I guess.
She takes medication for it.
You can take antipsychotics, but you're not necessarily schizophrenic. Like, you can have hallucinations and not be, like, schizophrenic.
I mean, yes.
That's just, like, the label everyone says if you have hallucinations.
Fair. But, I mean, I do believe that is the implication that they
I just like it better that like Billy is a ghost and haunting his daughter.
I mean, yeah.
I love it. I love that. Like,
hell yeah.
I really do like that possibility. And it's just very nice just to see him again and talking.
You just want to have Skeet Ulrich in the movie.
It's nice, and it is nice that like I looked this up. Like they got him back to do it. They just like CGI'd him younger, which was very nice. Like, because like in Star Wars, like in The Mandalorian, like they have like young Luke Skywalker in it for a few scenes, and they use like a completely random young actor and just like CGI Mark Hamill's face on him. But like I like it better with this because they actually use Skeet Ulrich and they just CGI him younger, which I think is more respectful.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think really likes that.
Yeah, initially had trouble getting him in, mostly because of like COVID stuff.
Oh yeah,
and like because that was like during quarantine times, and then so they like filmed her side of the scenes first, and then like with someone reading the lines, and then finally were able to find a time that he could come in to film. And I don't remember if she refilmed with him or if they just filmed his stuff and then combined the two shots. But
it's cool.
Yeah, for a hot minute there was like, oh, are we going to be able to get him in here?
I'm so glad they did.
They did.
I'm so glad they did.
I think he got all his stuff done in like 5 days or less.
Nice, good for him.
They got him in like for a real short time because it was just they're like scheduling plus COVID precautions. And,
in and out.
Yeah, very quick.
Yeah.
But
it was great. I really, really loved it. I was like, yes. And also like just the whole thing with Sam of like, you feel like you have this darkness inside you, and it's like you're worried about that like getting out. It's like, Will Graham, you are Will Graham. And of course, you know, I love Hannibal, so I was like, this is my shit. Like all things about this movie is like perfect for me. Like I love it.
Honestly, I really loved that she was set up to be the daughter of a serial killer.
Yeah.
Schizophrenic, sees visions of a serial killer telling her to do stabs, slit some throats, and is never made out to be a bad person for that.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, she is stressed about it.
Yes, you get her perspective a lot of times.
Yeah. But, like, is never villainized for that. I think the only person who, like, holds her, like, that holds that against her
Amber
is, I think it's Richie. Because he's the one who, like, knows about her pills and whatever. And he's just like, oh, like, yeah, we're going to frame you because this, that, and the other. But it's like, everyone else is just, like, fine with her and who she is. And, like, it's literally not an issue.
Yeah, it's nice.
Which I think was one of the points they wanted to make about her as a character.
Yeah.
Like, the writers. But, like...
You can have struggles but not be, like, villainized for that.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times we see, like... you see it in a lot of, like... what's the term? Like, cop shows and things like, you know, Criminal Minds or
mental
SVU or whatever.
Like
mental illness is constantly handed over to the criminals or whatever. And we see it villainized so frequently. So to just be like, no, she's literally schizophrenic and sees a serial killer in her head all the time.
Yeah.
And she's still just, like, normal and fine.
Yep.
And doesn't kill people.
Exactly.
Despite her serial killer father being like, hey, you want to slit some throats tonight?
Yeah, it's great.
Like, this is literally just her day-to-day.
Yeah.
And I genuinely love it.
I love it too. It's nice.
I think it's great.
It's also, like, typical male thing of, like, Billy, like, giving, like, Sydney shit over, like, not sleeping with him and then going and getting some random person pregnant.
God, right? Fucking cheated on her. A baby.
Yeah, for sure.
So, just so rude of him.
Yeah, so he sucks for that.
He does. It's just
typical
so
man. Let's talk about Randy's family.
Randy, his legacy lives on.
I love it because they literally have the whole, like, mantelpiece for him. Like, they have, like, a whole memorial for him.
Yeah, we get to see Martha again.
Yes.
And we get to see her kids.
Yeah,
the
twins.
Martins. The twins. We get to see Chad and we get to see Mindy.
Mm-hmm.
Chad is just a delight. He is just very much defined as a job.
It's like a golden retriever.
He's very much the golden retriever boyfriend, and he's dating Liv, who is
kind of sucks.
She's
You don't get a lot from her.
You don't get a whole
she's
lot
a bit annoying.
She's just kind of there.
She is
honestly.
just kind of there, yeah.
But she has a moment where she's like genuinely terrifying. When she's talking to Mindy at the party.
I was like, "Are you the killer?"
There's definitely a moment of doubt, and we see like fun fact: her name is Liv Mackenzie, and there's a tie to the Mackenzie family that like Casey's mom is told to go to the Mackenzies, and so that's her like tie to the legacy.
Gotcha.
Because everyone in these movies has like a tie to the originals, the legacy characters. So that's her like tentative tie. But like as they're going through the list, everyone's like, "Liv, you don't even seem to have a tie here. Like, get it? Why are you? You're not relevant. You may not have any part to play in this horror movie." And she's like, "I could be relevant.
Yeah,
like, I'm not boring. Leave me alone."
Yeah,
poor thing. But yeah, so Chad is dating her, and he seems to care about her, and she seems to care about him. They're fine. Love Chad. Liv is just unfortunately, I think it's honestly on purpose that she's not given a whole lot to work with, because one of the facts I read about her like pink dip-dyed hair, she does that because she feels she is boring.
Aww.
And so that's her like trying to make herself not boring. And so the fact that we're not given a lot to work with her is because she's a boring person.
That's so sad.
Right? I was like, no, but I love Liv.
Yeah.
She's fine and good.
That sucks.
And then Mindy.
Yes.
Mindy is so fun.
Mindy's smart. Mindy is like Randy 2.0.
Yeah, she's truly a delight.
She's not as good as Randy because she doesn't call it like exactly, but she's very close usually.
Yeah, she knows the basics of the rules.
Yeah.
She's not the one who gives the rules in this one, but she knows the basics of that like Randy taught.
Yeah.
She knows how to survive a horror movie, but maybe not a requel.
Not yet.
She actually, I'll give there's only 3 rules from a requel, and they were given to us by Dewey.
Yeah.
Never trust the love interest,
which is right.
Correct. The killer always connects to the past, which is correct. And the first victim has a circle of friends that the killer is a part of.
Yeah.
Which is true.
That's always true, basically.
Yeah. But like everyone that dies does have a tie back to the OGs.
Yeah.
Like even the guy outside the bar that dies is Stu's
nephew. Yeah.
So just like, yeah, it always goes back to the past. And
they killed Judy.
Killed Judy.
Yeah.
She was, a previous, nearly a previous victim. She was also supposed to die in the previous movie, but they decided just kind of last minute, no, we'll let her live.
Nice.
And then her son, Wes, dies. His connection is his mom.
Yeah.
Fun fact, sad fact, I guess.
Yeah.
Wes is named after Wes Craven. This was the first movie that Wes Craven did not direct in the series because he passed away before it was put together. Because of that, they named the character Wes, and then when Wes the character died, they hold the memorial party.
For Wes, I think is what it says. Or
yeah,
something?
I think it's or it might be like Goodbye Wes or something.
Yeah, something like that.
In Amber's house, they got the big sign, and then they all do a toast to Wes. And during the toast, they got the voices of cast and crew.
I saw that
from a bunch of from all the previous movies together,
and just splice that in there. Yeah, it's very nice.
So they've got I know Matthew Lillard's in there, Drew Barrymore's in there, a bunch of the writers, producers, other actors and stuff who would not be in the scene, but they all lent their voices to the toast. To Wes.
It's very nice,
which I think is incredibly sweet.
It is.
But yeah, they essentially created Wes as a character to kill so they could make a toast.
Yeah.
To Wes Craven,
which is okay.
I love and support that.
I was sad for Dewey in this movie.
God, he was heartbroken.
Doing his divorce arc in this movie. God. We get like one movie of him and Gail being happy together.
Yeah.
And then they get divorced. Which sucks. I was like, no.
Yeah, it hurts so bad.
Yeah.
I saw that David Arquette was reading through the script, and he's like, wow, I've got some like really good scenes in here. Like they're giving me like a lot to work with and a lot of like good stuff. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, that's why. Because die in this movie.
Just like everyone was heartbroken about it.
It was very sad.
Like the viewers, the cast.
Yeah, everyone was sad about it.
They're all still like a little salty about it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine. Like I know they were for a while. Who knows about if they still are now, but like you can't kill Dewey.
Yeah.
He's everyone's favorite. He was supposed to die in movies 1 and 2, and they wouldn't allow it.
Yeah, so now it's like, finally.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he was very good in this movie. He was very sweet.
So one of my favorite things about this whole movie is the party at Amber's house.
Yes.
When you get there, you're like walked through the house, you see some people.
Yeah.
One little fun detail that's so easy to miss is that you can hear a voice while Amber's walking around. You hear a voice say, "Cool house, Freeman." Which is nothing. That's just someone in the house, except for the fact that the voice is Matthew Lillard's voice.
Oh, really?
Saying, "Cool house, Freeman."
I need to go check that.
And the reason that's so interesting about that is because that's the voice of Stu Macher, and the house is Stu Macher's house.
It's like a little, like,
nice little Easter egg.
There, yeah.
And, like, you can't tell it's Stu's house. And, like, I mean, if you know, you can spot it. There are details here and there. You can find the bits of the layout.
But it's not until they
in
really,
the
like,
basement.
talk about it, and then it's like, okay, like, we're seeing all of it now instead of just this one part. So
yeah.
it's more recognizable.
In the basement scene with Mindy and Amber down there when they're getting the beer, it's very recognizable that that's the basement.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not expecting it, it doesn't matter. It's a basement.
Yeah.
But as soon as Sid calls and is like, "That's Stu Macher's house," and it does that slight rotation,
it looks
and
so
then the
cool.
zoom out, and it hits the angles we've seen before.
Yeah, it's like
then
the entryway, the kitchen.
My
like,
God. That's
the
Stu's
stairs,
house.
like, it's great. It's great.
So
That's
good.
a great moment. I was like, yes, Stu's house. Another thing that, like, honors the original movie, ties it back. I was, like, so happy about that.
Honestly, I remember seeing that, I was just like, you can do that? Is that allowed?
Yeah, and something I really liked is, like, they brought them back there. Like, they brought Signe back there. Like, she had to go back in that house. Yeah. And they were in the kitchen. They had another kitchen scene. It was really good.
They brought up their, like, motives. And their motives was toxic fandom. Their motive was toxic fandom.
Yeah, whatever.
They're like, damn, the last movie was bad, so we have to make some murders to get them to write a better movie.
Yeah, it's like, alright, man.
Like, guys, that's not how you...
Yeah.
Just write your own movie.
Not a best motive, but whatever.
Write fanfic. Like,
exactly.
You don't gotta do murders about it.
I think, was it Courtney Cox who was like, this isn't fan fucking fiction or something? It was so funny.
Oh, I love it. It's so funny.
Yeah. I called Amber. I knew it was Amber, but I did not predict Huey or Richie.
He's Richie in this one?
Sorry, I didn't predict him. I was like, it probably is him, but I don't know. So
it's so funny. I remember I did not see Amber coming.
Oh, I totally
did. Because when she pulled the gun out and shot Liv, that shook me. Like, I was like, no, you can't do that. You can't. No, like it happened so fast.
It did happen
I think at
fast.
that point, I can't remember if I had looked at Amber earlier in the movie, but I think at that point I had been suspicious of Liv, and then she just killed Liv.
Yeah.
But I remember throughout the whole movie, I was like vaguely suspicious of Richie, except I was like, but I want to be wrong.
Yeah, because he was so nice.
So wrong.
He was so nice and sweet.
He seems like a genuinely good boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like and he seems like really nice to Tara. Like, I think it's you, but I don't want it to be.
Exactly. It's like, You know not to trust the love interest, but you just want to.
You wanna.
Yeah.
God.
It was great.
Yeah. I think what just a funny thing is, like, at one point they're in the hospital in Tara's room, and, like, Richie is like, well, I think it's Amber, because where were you during such and such thing? She's like, well, I think it's you, because I have this alibi, and what were you doing with this, that, and the other?
It's great.
And they're both, like, blaming the other, which is like, well, okay, obviously they're not working together. It's like, oh, that was a good cover.
That to me was like, oh, that they're not working together.
It's so well played. There are also a couple of times where they, like, check in with each other, like, when they first meet, when, like, Sam is introducing the two of them, and there's just, like, a brief moment where, like, he checks Sam's reaction after they, like, interact, and, like, a few little things that's like, I should have seen it. I should have seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. I really liked the, like, Billy hallucination at the end.
Yeah.
Like, he shows up only a few times in this movie, but I really like that he shows up at the end when, like, Sam has to, like, stab Richie, basically.
Yeah.
That was really good.
She does so many stabs.
Which is, like, you're embracing your, you know, like, instincts and everything, which I was like, yes!
Although, to be fair, Sydney has always been just as violent.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, so I don't even say we could, like, push that on, like, serial killer instinct. It's just, like, these girls will do what it takes to ensure they're not hit again. Like, that these guys don't come back. They're just gonna keep going until someone physically stops them.
It's just more visceral when it's, like, you're stabbing someone 50 times versus just, like, shooting them in the head. Like, it's way more visceral.
I'm just, like, picturing movie one Sydney when she launches out of the closet with an umbrella and tries to stab him in the heart.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't have the knife to do the stabs 40 times, but she did have an umbrella and she aimed for the heart.
Yeah, it was cool.
So it's like, you know, 6 one way, half dozen the other.
I think, too, is, like, Sam was struggling so much with, like, that, like, giving herself permission to do that.
That's fair, yeah.
So I really liked that she, like, gave in to that.
she allowed herself to do what she needed to do.
Yes, yeah.
Absolutely.
That was nice.
I will say final body count for 5 was 8. You had a body count of 8.
I was like, not too many people died in this one.
No, it wasn't as crazy. It could have.
I was very happy that the brother survived.
Chad? Yes.
Yeah, because I thought for sure he was dead. I was like, no, not
That's
the
another
twin.
way he's, like,
Not
doing
the twin.
and that, like, there are many times he should be dead.
Yeah, definitely.
And here he is.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, my last note is the endings are the same. I'm crying. I don't even. Because like the shot like coming out of Stu's house.
Yeah, with
like
ambulances
in
and
the sunrise.
Story.
Yeah, that made me tear up. It's like, oh my god,
it's good.
So good.
They honor the first movie so well.
I already know I'm gonna rewatch that movie many times.
You should. It's. I told you these movies were good.
They're so good. I already have like a fanfic idea for it.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But have you seen Yellow Jackets?
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay, that just made me think of like just why I like the Ghost Billy situation more, because like I've only seen like 3 episodes of Yellow Jackets, but like one of the girls is like schizophrenic, but it's actually like she sees spirits or something. I don't know, I haven't like seen it, but
we gotta watch Yellow Jackets together.
I can't really watch it, honestly.
Why not?
It's too intense for me. Like
it is very stressful.
I don't know
That's
what
fair.
it is, but it's just uncomfortable to me. I don't know.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. We'll see, maybe later, but not right now.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, no pressure.
But that's just like why I thought about it. It's like similar a bit. Of like you're trying to medicate this, but you don't really know what it is.
That's fair.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
I like that possibility. All right, 6.
6. Let's go.
All right, almost done.
Yeah. So one thing I really adore about 6 is that you line up 6 with 2.
Yeah, it's very similar.
They have a lot of, just like with 5 and 1, there's a lot of like solid references and just very clearly like honoring too, without and it never felt repetitive.
No.
It's
just parallel.
Yeah, it's in a college setting. We even have a scene where there's a character on a phone in the middle of like a park or a quad to track the killer.
Yeah.
The confrontation is in a theater. And then, if you have not seen this, stop now.
But the killer is
a parent
the
of a previous killer.
Exactly. I was like, this really is Scream 2.
It's Scream 2.
It really is Scream 2.
And yet, like,
which is nice.
Yeah, it's good, but it doesn't feel repetitive, and it's different completely.
It is. It's very nice.
Even, like, having a parent as of the previous killer, it's not repetitive, because it's the parent is coming for revenge, but in a completely different manner.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good.
It's very good. And I mentioned, like, I got spoiled on one of the killers here.
Which one?
It's Quinn. I got spoiled on Quinn.
Really?
Yeah, because I just saw, like, a gif of her taking the mask off, and I was like, oh, okay, so she's the killer. But I have in my notes, like, is it Quinn and Chad's roommate? Is it Quinn and Quinn's dad? Like, I had question marks, and then it turns out it was both of them. And I was right.
Killers.
I was right for
There's
this
three
one.
of them.
I was actually right for one.
It's all three.
I was like, hell yes. Like, you got it.
Three of them. One of them was pretend dead for a very long time.
Because I knew she faked her death, I was like, it's gotta be the dad then. Like, he has to be involved in this. Like, he's gotta be
it's
covering
her,
it
then,
up.
like, obviously that it's gonna give away that it's the dad, because he's the one who, like, checked her body.
Exactly. And then for the Chad's roommate, I was like, they're watching him so much, like, he's gotta be, like, sneaky.
God, Evan as a killer is so funny to me. I was talking to Rachel about this earlier, but he's so funny, because, like, we've got the family dynamic. See, they set up Evan to be, he's Chad's roommate. He's just another friend in the group. Turns out he's actually a brother. He's Quinn's brother. He is the cop's son. And also Richie was part of the family. Richie from 5 is actually Quinn's brother, Evan's brother, the cop's son. He's part of the family, and they're all, getting revenge.
Yeah.
But they talk about how, like, in, like, unconfirmed dynamics, what they just kind of talked about on their own was, like, Richie is the oldest brother, Quinn's in the middle, Evan's the youngest.
Yeah.
And it's, like, very clear that, like, the dad loved Richie the most,
yes.
and Evan feels like he's, like, just gotta, like, I gotta get some love and attention from dad, so he's got, like, that dynamic going on.
The whole family dynamics.
And then, like, also on top of that, Evan's an incel.
Yeah.
And, like, why? Why, buddy?
Yeah.
Like, you got enough problems. Like, just don't worry about that right now. You've got enough to deal with. But he just, like, takes a moment in the middle of the giant confrontation while he's, like, trying to kill Tara. He's, like, trying to jump stab her.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, and also, I have to room with an alpha whose name is Chad. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
That was funny.
Literally so off topic.
Yeah, like, get over yourself.
It's
like, that's what you have to be upset about.
Like, Chad was your friend.
Yes.
And was literally trying to help you meet girls.
Yes, he was.
Like, can you calm down?
Yeah.
And, like, pay attention to your surroundings a little?
Yeah.
I don't know. Evan is so funny to me. He's, like, just an idiot.
Mm-hmm. And with the killers, it's nice because it's like, I mean, like, Mindy was, like, suspecting all of the, like, new people of, like, y'all are just our new friends we've known for, like, 6 months. Like, y'all are suspect number 1. And then also, also, like, at the end when it's kind of, like, is it Kirby, actually? Like, this person we know and who's a survivor? I was like, oh no, like, that would be a twist, Kirby. But I hope not. And thankfully it turns out it wasn't her, but I was like, they could definitely do that just to, like, subvert the expectation.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad they did it and they stuck to the rules.
Like, if Kirby showed up again and was like, just kidding, now I'm the killer.
I'd be so upset.
I'd turn off the movie.
I'd be so mad.
I love Kirby.
And also, it's like, I hadn't seen Hayden Panettiere, like, recently. Like, I was like, oh, this is what she looks like now, right? Because I've only seen her, like, in Disney Channel. Like, I was like, okay, like, you've matured, you've grown up, like...
She was in that show about, country music or something. That was like right before this happened. But apparently, again, IMDb trivia, grain of salt, they finished Scream 5 and they're like, you know what would be great? Or like they finished like Scream 4 and then they're like, it would be cool to get like Kirby back for like 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm.
And they just couldn't find her. They didn't know how to reach her. She doesn't have an agent. They just could not get to her.
Interesting.
And then one of the directors or producers or someone was at a like party for something Hollywood, and found like a producer that was on that country music show that I'm blanking on the name.
I don't know. Dallas?
Mm-mm.
No. Nashville?
No. Nashville.
Yeah.
And was like, hey, Hayden Panettiere's in that, right? Can you get me in contact with her if we want to get her in our movie? And they were like, oh yeah, dude. And like, no worries, here's her number.
Yeah.
And they were like, thank you. And they were like, hey, you want to come back to Scream? And she's like, oh my god, yes, thank you so much. I want back. Yes.
Good for her for putting up boundaries, but like good that they could contact her.
Yeah. She's apparently like part of her contract or whatever for 4 demanded that she not die on screen.
Okay, nice.
Because, like, she wanted to be able to, just in case, come back.
Yeah.
And so while we see her, like, in very bad condition, we technically don't see her, like, die.
Which is a thing in the newer movies of, like, even if you get stabbed a few times, you could still survive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
Which is a normal rule for all of these movies. Like, you're not dead until you're, like, dead.
Jen got stabbed so many times.
She got stabbed a bunch of times. And
so
she was
many
okay.
times.
Yeah.
Like, he's fine.
Yeah.
So, but I love that about her. She's like, oh no, I'm making sure there's a chance I can come back. And then just, like, disappeared off the face of the earth for them. And they were like, as soon as they, like, touched base with her again, they're like, please come back. And she did.
That's funny.
I love it.
I'm glad she came back.
Me too. I love Kirby.
I also really liked the opening to this one as well. Queen Samara Weaving is in the opening.
Oh yeah.
Love her. I actually just watched Ready or Not again last night.
I need to watch that.
Love that movie. It's
on my
so
list.
good. It's so good. You'll love it. I love it so much. But also, like, another thing I noticed in this movie is, like, when they're all on the subway train and it's, like, Halloween, everyone's dressed up. Someone's dressed up as their character.
Her,
yeah. I was like, yes! The representation, the inclusion.
They
like,
got that. I also think it's funny that, like, in the back you can see a Babadook.
Yeah, I saw it.
Tara's favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can see, like,
nice.
so many great horror
you
references
can see
on the
Freddy
subway train.
Krueger
They got everyone.
Like, it's a lot.
But my favorite is just, like, the Babadook in the back.
Yeah, I love that. But the opening is really good, because you get Samara Weaving, but you also get, like, the killers get killed, which is new.
You get a Ghostface kill, and he immediately takes off the mask.
And I was like, hold on.
It's like, wait, no, you're just going to tell us who the killer is
right
I
was
away?
Like, what? That's an interesting choice.
That's so cool. What a wild twist.
Yeah.
And then he just goes home, and then he gets stalked in his apartment.
And then you're like, okay.
And his roommate is dead in the fridge.
That's, like, Gore City.
And then, like, as he's getting killed, he's like, says something about the movies, and the killer's like,
who gives a fuck about scary movies?
Yeah!
I love that so much.
I love it so much.
That's a great line. Like, mid-slash. Like,
who gives a fuck about scary movies?
I love that.
You're supposed to! You're Ghostface!
Well, obviously they do, because they're doing it for Richie, who really gave a fuck about scary movies.
Yeah. But
really
I mean, but their motive technically has nothing to do with movies.
Yeah,
and it's great.
Him. Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because, like, the Ghostface in this movie doesn't always carry knives. Sometimes he carries just a shotgun.
Yeah.
And that breaks the, like, unwritten
rules.
Which is that, Ghostface carries knives. He does knives. He doesn't do guns. And he can only have a gun once the mask is off.
Yeah.
But he walks into a bodega with a sawn-off shotgun.
Yeah.
And it's like, what, you can't do that. But it's like, but these aren't normal ghost faces.
Exactly.
They're not here for the movie. They're not here to, like, make their own movie or make a new script or, like...
Yeah, they're just here for revenge.
They're just here to, like, make Sam the bad guy and do justice for their son.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with the movie except that their son left the movie.
Yeah,
that's it. And it's just like, well, yeah, of course they don't care about the rules. Yeah. It's not their thing. They have no interest in the movie at all.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's very good. And that's also why What was I saying?
We were talking about
I'll edit this out.
The family
okay.
not caring about the movie and carrying the shotgun.
Yeah, like that's why it's a fun movie, and also the mask is different in this movie. Like you can tell, like that mask looks weird.
Yeah,
that mask looks weird, and then they explain it because like they're leaving the old masks behind, and even I was like, how did they get those? Like those are in evidence, like. But it turns out money money buys everything.
You can just buy it
of course,
all.
of course. But
God, that whole shrine was so creepy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was cool to like see all those like Easter eggs, but again, I was like,
for sure,
you gotta be obsessed to have all this like true crime shit. Like, also, in the opening, sorry to go back to that, but I like had to look this up because I was like, why does this guy look so familiar to me? The one who stabbed Samara Weaving.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. He is in the Spider-Man movies. He, like, the new ones. He's, like...
Wait, Tom Holland?
Yeah, he's, like, Tom Holland's, like, the bully friend guy.
Bully friend?
Yeah, the bully guy that turns into, like, the friend.
Genki?
No.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched him.
I think it's, like, Speed or...
Oh, Flash?
Yeah, that one. He's that guy.
He's that guy.
He's that guy. And he looks like completely different. And I was like, oh my god, I can recognize him though. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah,
like,
I wouldn't have called that.
No, it's like, good job for you for doing a scary movie and not just like a Marvel movie. I watched the opening and I was like, I really hope this is Sam, but I doubt it is.
Yeah,
like,
you texted me, you were like, God, I hope this is Sam. I was like, I don't think we want Sam to be a serial killer.
I mean, I personally do.
Well,
I like corruption arcs, okay? I like corruption arcs. But I was like, I know it's not her, but that would be fun.
That'd be neat.
I really don't like her psychiatrist.
Yeah, like,
he
I have
sucks.
to report you. No,
you don't. You do not. You fully do not.
She fully did not make a threat.
No, that's the only reason you have to report someone
Yeah.
if they make a specific threat against someone specific, and she definitely did
not
do that.
She was just like, my life sucks.
You're just a scaredy cat. Like, he's just freaked out.
And he's a horror buff. Like, how did he not recognize her?
I know, it's ridiculous.
Like,
I did not like that guy. Also, like, he was keeping, like, paper files on everyone. No one does that anymore. Like, if you do that, you are a dinosaur. Like, like you refuse to like adapt, and I don't like that personally. Like,
that feels more like a movie magic thing than an actual.
Of course, yeah. But I was just like, I don't like this guy. And she opened up to him like that, and he was like, I'm not seeing you again. And I was like, bro,
like, dude, you can't do
that,
buddy. Like, why?
Like, no way. Like,
because you can't, like, because she has real trauma, and you're like, you can't say, hi, we've been talking for 6 months, I need you to actually open up about your trauma. And then she's like, okay, here's my trauma. And then you're like, just
never
kidding.
mind.
Time's up. I will never see you again.
Yeah, and like, first off, it's not good to pressure someone into opening up about their trauma. Like, that's a bad move.
Yeah.
Like, even in therapy, like, you don't need to know the specifics to know how people feel and react to certain things.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked up. I was like, I don't like you.
None of it sounded like a good
not good. So
God.
Yeah, it kind of sucked. Let's see.
I will say that it was super cool that this was the first movie. It's very funny, but also kind of cool that it was the first movie that Gail actually talked to Ghostface.
Yeah.
Ghostface.
Like, they had a scene together, basically.
Yeah. This is, so Courtney Cox and Roger Jackson, who is the voice of Ghostface, are the only two people, like only two actors who have been in every single film now. Mm. And this is the first time they've done a scene together.
That's funny.
It took till movie 6.
Yeah. It was a great scene.
It really was. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And like, honestly, applause to Roger Jackson. He's been the voice this whole time.
And it's a good
every
voice.
single movie, and it's
the
great,
same voice.
An incredible voice. But yeah, no, it was great watching her like finally pull the like redial on the ghosts so she could find them, and I'm pretty sure that was Quinn. first, if you guys look in like IMDb trivia and probably in other places as well, you can kind of see, you can find breakdowns of like who did what kill.
Yeah.
In 5, it seems like Amber did almost every single kill. The two of them did the first kill together. It seems like Richie did the guy outside the bar, and then Amber did just about everything else.
Yeah, because
until the final event.
Because I noticed like she's not in a good chunk of the movie.
She's just very knife happy, and he's over here thinking, "Aha, I'm a mastermind."
Exactly.
But the thing is, she's the one pulling all the strings.
Yeah.
She's just anyway. That's fun. We're done with 5. I just think it's so funny that like Amber's the one who did all the kills, basically. But yeah, you can find those breakdowns, and I think they're very interesting.
It's a fun breakdown for sure.
But it's a fun fight between Gale and Quinn in the apartment.
Yeah.
You also get in the theater, because the ghost faces are like family, so they're all like in sync. You get that cool like double ghost face, double knife wipe at the same time.
Yeah, that was good.
So good.
That was good for sure.
Loved that. This is also the first movie that doesn't have Sydney in it.
Yeah, she's just mentioned.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah, absolutely. She did not return because she was not... they offered her a certain pay amount. She felt it was not what she was worth. She did not take it. And the rest of the cast fully support her.
Yeah, that's fine.
So she just did not come on for 6.
Yeah.
So
hanging out with Patrick Dempsey, her husband.
Yes, she stayed home to have her happy ending. Did you know that they play siblings in Grey's Anatomy?
No,
yeah.
I've never seen Grey's Anatomy.
I've watched, I think, up to the beginning of season 8.
Okay,
maybe. I couldn't tell you with any certainty, any kind of timeline or plot.
Okay, but
I've
they play
seen
siblings.
Yeah, they play siblings.
Okay,
which I think is very funny.
And don't you hate him in Grey's Anatomy?
I do.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
I know.
I was like, I know he dies in Grey's Anatomy. Like...
At some point, I didn't make it that far. Alas, I did want to see him die.
It's funny.
Yeah, no, I hate that man.
I gotta tell my mom that he's in Scream 3, because I don't think she knows that, and she likes Grey's Anatomy.
Hell yeah.
She watched all the way up until, like, the most recent season, and then she got burnt out by it, which is fair.
That's, yeah. God... I think it's over now, isn't it? Am
I don't
crazy?
know. I don't know. Maybe. I don't keep up with it, but...
I don't know. My roommate and friends used to all watch it together.
Oh, wow.
And so I kind of watched periodically when they would watch, and then...
I could never get into, like, medical drama shows.
It's a wild time.
Yeah.
It's a wild time.
Yeah, no thank you. Annika deserved better.
Annika deserves so much better.
I really liked her.
She was so good. Her and Mindy were so cute together.
Yeah, they were very cute.
I adored them. And even when Mindy was like...
It could be you.
Just like, Ethan, like, you could have rigged the roommate thing.
Yeah.
Quinn, like, you could be...
You found us online.
Yeah, you found us online. And Annika, because never trust the love interest.
Yeah.
And she was just like, but babe.
Yeah.
She was like so cute. I don't know, they were just like really sweet, and then they had the like lovely kiss before they went out on the ladder.
Yeah,
and then
very tragic.
Oh, and it was like, yeah, that height could kill you, but you could also maybe survive, but you also got stabbed a lot of times, and then you hit the dumpster, and then you're like, oh, yeah, you're not getting up from that.
Yeah, it's like when your head hits something hard falling, and it's not good.
Oh,
yeah, that's
tragic.
Sucks.
Truly tragic.
Yeah, for sure. But I was glad, like, the core 4 survived.
Core 4,
because I thought for sure,
survived.
like, one of them at least was gonna die.
And Danny made it.
Yeah.
Sam's boyfriend.
Yes. He was fine.
He did.
I don't know. I don't like his vibes, but that's just me.
I like him. I think they made him seem more suspicious just because, again, never trust the love interest.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you think about it, we could have really knocked him off the list right away, because during Quinn's murder,
yeah, he's
in a completely different apartment with no one to watch him.
Yeah.
And he starts trying to warn everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, who's there to judge him if he doesn't?
Yeah.
Like...
I didn't think it was him, I just don't like the vibes.
Fair. I just think we didn't get a whole lot of time to, like, get to know him.
No, we didn't.
By the time she's like, hey guys, I'm dating the guy across the way, they were like, nice, and then the murders started happening,
exactly.
We only got, like, a couple of scenes, but he seemed, like, when she's like, I can't trust you, he was like, good, don't.
Yeah.
And then, like, always backed off as soon as she said, and honestly, that above everything else. Like,
that was nice.
I really appreciated that.
That was nice.
I was gonna say, I wonder if we'll see him again, but probably not, all things considered.
Yeah.
For those of you unaware, Melissa Barrera has been fired, because she made some posts on social media in support of Palestine, which were declared anti-Semitic.
Which is stupid.
So she was fired and will not be returning.
And thus, we will not be watching Scream 7.
Yeah, Scream 7 has now officially started being advertised.
I'm not fucking watching
coming out
it.
next year. Neve Campbell is on the posters, or like the posts for that.
Like, alright.
So I assume she's signed on, which I'm kind of disappointed about.
I feel like a lot of them, like, I don't know if they're hold to their contract, but I don't think Jenna Ortega wants to do it.
Yeah, I think she, like, I thought I read somewhere that she quit.
Yeah, I thought
Melissa
so too.
Barrera.
Yeah.
But, well, I don't know that for sure. But, they started advertising Scream 7, but with their, like, lead gone. Like,
yeah, it's like, okay.
Are they going to completely refocus back on Sid? Because that seems
like
wild.
You can't finish the trilogy. Like, you have to do a new thing now.
Yeah, you can't just
You just fucked yourself. Like,
yeah. So unless they, like, come out with, like, a legit apology and rehire Melissa, like...
A legit apology, and they, like, donate to Palestine.
Yeah.
They have to do something.
Yeah, like, not just say the words of we're sorry.
Yeah,
but, like,
you gotta
actually
make some
apologize
action.
and take action.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, we'll see, but... it's a mess.
Yeah. It's such a shame, because the 5 and 6 were so good.
They were so good.
I would love to see more.
Yeah.
And then they fucked themselves over entirely.
They did fuck themselves.
Like, guys.
It sucks. Whatever. I'm just glad we got 5 and 6.
Yeah, I will enjoy the movies that are out now and love them forever.
Yeah, they're great.
That's gonna just be enough.
Yeah, and, like, all 4 of them survived at the end. I'm good
with
with that.
Core 4.
That's a great ending. I like that ending.
Oh yeah, body count for 6 was 13. That's our highest body count yet.
Oh, wow, okay.
Oh, did I do rules for 6?
I don't know.
I don't think I did.
Okay.
The movie always goes back to this is for the requel, sequel, or franchise. Movie always goes back to the original. Everything is bigger. Expect the opposite of whatever happened in the last film. So, we were last in Woodsboro, now we're in New York.
Mm-hmm.
No one, including legacy characters, are safe, which is why I was very scared for Gale.
I was scared, yeah, for all of them.
And then main characters are now expendable for the sake of the franchise, which was why I was very scared for Chad.
Yeah, Chad almost died again.
But those were it. That was it. Which, honestly, most
Mindy
of them
almost died, too.
She did, yeah.
I was like, you can't kill both of Randy's people off.
But honestly, most of those are, like, just kind of repeats or rephrases of what we've heard before.
Yeah.
So...
But it was good. I also liked at the end when she was, like, hesitating to kill the Bailey guy, the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And because it was like, oh no, like, I'm better than that, blah, blah. And then her sister was like, like, you can still kill him, and that doesn't mean you're a serial killer. Like,
I read the hesitation less of I'm better than, more of I don't want to do this in front of my sister.
Oh,
okay. What will she think of me?
Yeah,
and then
she
Tara
was very
like,
afraid.
Just do it.
Yeah,
and she's like, okay.
Yeah, she was very afraid of, like, her sister's judgment. Yeah.
How will my sister see me after this?
So I'm glad that they were both in agreement of, like, not just kill that guy.
No, just kill that guy. That guy sucks.
Yeah, like, that doesn't
He tried to kill us.
Exactly. Like, that's really good. So I liked that part a lot, and Skeet Ulrich was in this movie again.
Mm-hmm.
Loved that. I was like, yes! He was in it less, but I still liked it, you know?
Yeah. It was good. And then, like, seeing Chad and Tara get together was cute.
It was cute, yeah.
It honestly surprised me because for some reason I always have in my head that Chad is also gay, like his sister is.
Yeah.
And he's not. We see him, like, chatting with girls at the party. We see him kissing Tara. Like,
yeah.
He's very much not strictly gay. but for some reason in my head he is.
Yeah.
And so it always comes as a surprise when those two start kissing. They're very cute together. They're very cute together.
Cute.
It just surprises me.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I had for those movies. I really love
you got
Scream.
like more than 2 hours worth out of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go home and sleep.
That's fair, dude. We talked too much.
Yeah, but it was a lot to talk about.
It's so good. Y'all.
I had a lot of thoughts.
There's so much to talk about in this series.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, thanks for joining us. Tell us if you know or have any other ideas about Scream, any thoughts about them, who your favorite characters, your favorite killers
favorite movie.
Yeah.
Let us know if you agree with one of us more or whatever.
Pit us against each other.
Yeah.
Let's go.
See y'all next time.
Bye.